Hello, love. How are you? Hello, hello. I'm sorry, I was having issues with Facebook. So I wanted to make sure they had the opportunity. I had to delete and start over. So hello. So glad y'all able to join in real quick. I know y'all not gonna stay long, but that's okay. I appreciate you for jumping in, saying a couple of things real quick. So thank y'all. Um, I'm gonna give it about 2 more minutes. So thank y'all. Where y'all leave it at? I know, Mr. LeBron, you still in Vegas, huh? Mr. B, you still up there in DC area? That where you at? You still out there? I'm trying to see where all my viewers at so I can be like, hey y'all, shout y'all out. Forever. Okay, I gotta come back to Vegas because I gotta do a new shoot since I'm in the 40. I'm in the big 40 club. I gotta bring it back. So I gotta do a new shoot to get on this big 40 body, So I'm gonna do that soon. Hello, whoever has joined either from Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for joining in. If you could, just let me know where you're coming from, just so I can shout you out. I have 1 more minute. Be still, you are not in San Antonio. Just stop it. I would have known that. Let me know where you're chiming in from, just so I can show love and appreciate my viewers from wherever you are watching from. I do apologize. I'm trying to get my people that are on. Um, y'all just gonna have to get what you get. I'm sorry. Wherever you're calling in from. So thank you so much. So we are gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome back to R2C, which is Real Resilient Conversations. So if this is your first time joining in, guess what? It's Monday. It is. So happy mid-month fill up. This is the time where we come back, whether you're alone, you snuggled up with somebody, or if you're watching it live or on rebroadcast. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time out and to just take the time out to, give me 30 minutes of your time. I promise I'm going to try and make it quick, sweet, and to the point, but I do have a lot of information I want to give y'all today. I know you're trying to figure out what it has to do, but guess what? We come back every second and fourth Mondays where I use, unique, quirky topics that God gives me, and I use the time to really use my what's the word I'm trying to think of? My assignment. There it is, to empower you on how to become a more resilient you. All right. So that's me in a nutshell. And I want you to just, if you enjoy the teaching, only thing that I ask is that you go ahead and share this content. Share, like it, subscribe if you like to. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content. And with that being said, I think we got all housekeeping out of the way. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let me hear you give me some something fire chat something in there so I know y'all ready. Y'all ready? All right. So thank you so much for my compliment for my hair. I got my own personal stylist. She hooks me up. I love her so much. Uh, she is probably on her way to sleep, so I'll try not to be too loud. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, today's topic is emergency broadcast system. And I know you're wondering, what does that have to do with resiliency? And because I did say that I am a resiliency, I know that those of you who don't know, I am a resiliency speaker. And so because of that, I use different topics, like I said, in order to give you a more resilient you. So emergency broadcast system, what do you think that has to do with being resilient? Okay. How you doing, Dr. Sully? Thank you so much for jumping in. What does being or the emergency broadcast system have to do with your resiliency? And while you're typing down in the comment section, I really want you to think, do you think you identify with the emergency broadcast system at all? Like, no. Right? And what warnings does it give you for your life? Right? If you go back to your childhood, I heard that it's still out there, and because I don't have regular TV, I guess I never see it. But those of you who still have regular TV, They say that the emergency broadcast system still airs. It's just called the Emergency Alert System now. I think it's the EAS versus the EBS, right? So now it's the Emergency Alert System versus the Emergency Broadcast System. So the Emergency Broadcast System, if we go back down memory lane, it used to give that loud, piercing noise. Beep, right? And then you'd be like, oh my goodness, it had the the multicolored vertical lines, right? And you wonder, when is this gonna be over? And I think it only lasted like 60 seconds, but it seemed like forever when you're a kid, right? You're like, hurry up, my cartoons are on, right? Right? Um, but when it was on, you're just like, why are they saying? And they're talking, and you're just like, yeah, 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 blah, 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 right? It's kind of like how we do in our everyday life, right? We still say, yeah, 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 I hear the things going on around me. Just stop talking. Just let me get through this. I'm just trying to hurry up and get through life, right? We are in such a microwave society that we are rushing to get past the very subtle announcements that are necessary in our lives. And so before we go any further, I just want to make sure, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. If it is not for you, this information could very well be for your friends or family who might need to hear this. All right. All right. So we are going to touch on 3 different areas today. And those areas, of course, you know how I do. I'm going to be mental, physical, and spiritual. And I know usually I don't talk about the spiritual, but today we are going to touch on the spiritual just a little bit. Okay. And so, of course, which one do you think that you identify with more? Whenever you are prioritizing those 3 in particular in life, what order do you put them in? The mental, the spiritual, and the physical. Mental, physical, spiritual. Do you do spiritual, physical, mental? Do you do mental, spiritual, physical? Right? And because if you have physical issues, does that determine what priority you put in your life? So I just want you to think about that, and put it down there in the chat, right? And the reason why I say that is because when we're going through them, then maybe it will make more sense, in order for you to realize what areas the emergency broadcast system is alerting you in your everyday life. Okay. Hi, my dear sister. Thank you so much for joining. So when we're talking about alerts, and the first one we're going to talk about is the mental. And so, what alerts do you think are going off that are warning you about the emergency that you have been neglecting for your mental health? What type of emergency notifications could be going off in respect to your mental health? All right. And so, if you go back to the emergency broadcast system, what did it say? This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. And then as soon as it did that, it had the long beep. When you're talking about the test, I want you to look at the symptoms, your thoughts, your feelings, your behavior patterns, and what do you see when you evaluate them when you're talking about your mental health, right? Right, brain fog is exactly one of them, Reba. And you're talking about brain fog, that is exactly a test of where your mental health is sitting, right? Do you feel sad? Do you feel down? Do you have confused thinking, right? That brain fog. Do you have reduced ability to concentrate? Do you have excessive fears and worries? Are you feeling guilty? Excessive mood swings? Withdrawal from friends and family? Or even withdraw from activities or things that you love to do? What about significant excessive tiredness, low energy, problem sleeping, right? All of these things play a factor into your mental health. And the emergency broadcast system is telling you, it is alerting you that these things are, guess what? Saying, it's a warning. It's a warning. And now you need to be very much aware of what you need to do. You need to listen in, right? It is no longer just a test. Now it is a warning, right? Um, Right. And Reba over here on Instagram was saying that confusion, annoyance, lack of ability to find clarity, all could be a part of the test when it comes to her mental health and her mental alerts, right? And when we're talking about those alerts that are going off, it's simply a test. When those tests are now becoming an alert, if you answered yes, it is no longer an alert. It is no longer a test. And when as soon as it changes from alert or a test, it says, this is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. This is a warning that your mental health is at jeopardy and you should seek medical attention immediately. Something to that nature, if I was to become the emergency broadcast system, right? I repeat, this is not a test. Your mental health is at jeopardy and you should seek medical attention immediately. Your medical attention could help with your mental health. What if your medical attention is because there's something going on with you on a different level, which we'll talk about, that's now affecting your mental health? Whenever we're talking about mental health, there's so many different facets of mental health, right? Would you have moved differently if you were warned of your mental health? If there was something that went off that warned you of your mental health, would you move differently? How would you move differently? What type of things would you have done differently once you heard that this was no longer a test? Would you be afraid to make the proper adjustments to adhere to whatever the warning was to get you to safety? If you think about it, see, I think about things like if people are in a car accident, they freeze in the moment of danger, right? Due to the fact that they're afraid. They're afraid of making the wrong decisions, of worsening the decision that they're currently in. They're worried that they're going to make the decision worse for someone else. So it's all of these different things. So then they freeze. They don't do anything at all. Their mental health is fear. Fear has overcome them, right? And if they're afraid, what would be their reason for not making a move? They are so overcome, they don't know what to do. And they don't have anyone to seek help. So now they have to wait for help to find them, right? What is your reason for not taking heed to the warnings that you have known, you have sought? Someone has shown you, someone has told you. And when I went down the list, you said, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Right? And you answered yes. And now it's no longer just a test. Now it's oh, that's me. And what are you doing about it? Who are you seeking to make that difference? What changes are you making in your life to navigate and make the necessary changes for safety? All right. So we're gonna go into physical. All right. Physical. What alerts do you feel you are in need of to let you know about for your physical health? Right. What symptoms? Or I'm sorry. What warnings are you going off of that are giving you that your physical health is at risk? Right? This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Look at your flexibility, your endurance, your upper body strength, your core strength. Look at your target heart rate. Look at your body size calculations. Right? Now, ladies, I know we all come from different cultures. We look different, we built different, we eat different. But when we're talking about these physical, right, your physical health, just because you're built to look curvier does not mean that you're necessarily unhealthy. You're necessarily unhealthy. My goodness, my goodness. Okay. Things are trying to break apart over here. I'm not gonna let it. The devil busy today, y'all. All right. Wanting to sleep all the time. When you're frozen. Someone let me in verbally. You want to talk out loud? I can let you in. Would you like to talk out loud, Reba? But I would have to let you in, but it would be on video, just to give you a heads up. All right. All right. So once again, those things when you're talking about the physical health and the test, it's no longer a test. So now, like I said, some of those things that can affect your physical health, like you said, sleep hygiene, uh, alcohol, smoking, drugs, air pollution. If you're somewhere where there's air pollution or there's a toxic site nearby, say for say for instance a paper mill or a I don't know, somewhere where they make and they excrete off toxic waste, right? That can cause a problem with your actual physical health. Um, Let me see, unhealthy food options, the recreational resources. There's no resources available for you to go and exercise, or the advertising that you see on TV are usually those that are unhealthy. What about uh, oh goodness, goodness, my brain. The physical activity from childhood all the way up through adulthood. You were never taught as a child how to have fun with the exercises, how to have fun with physical activity, right? For me, I know that I am not a basketball player. I was never that, right? I would do cheerleading. All right. I would dance. That was my exercise. So finding the things that still made it fun, and that was my way of working out. So Zumba was fun for me. Anything where I can dance and I can have fun in like a group dynamic, or if I did things by myself, it was light weights. I had a visual on how to utilize the machines, and then I did it by myself with some music, and that was it. But finding out what worked great for you was important, because you have to learn that from childhood into adulthood. So when you become an adult, it does not hinder your growth, right? Um, she said she didn't want to be on video because the world wasn't ready for her body. All right. So, do you suffer from, right, when the test is going off? Do you feel like you're suffering from obesity, asthma, arthritis, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, chronic illness, high blood pressure, migraines, mental health struggles, physical injuries, violence, inadequate income? Inadequate income. I'm going to say it again. Inadequate income or social status. All of these play a big factor into your physical health. Those of us that are struggling on a financial aspect and you're wondering why your body is in pain, is because you are stressed out and it is causing aches and pains all over your body. You're having migraines because you're stressed trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to feed your children, how you're going to make ends meet, how you're still going to live a day-to-day life. And you're wondering why your body is going through the ups and downs. You're wondering why you're eating badly, because that's you can only pay for what is cheap. The cheap food is usually the bad food, right? So now, once again, if you answered yes to any of the questions, this is the emergency broadcast system, and this is not a test. This is a warning that your physical harm is at jeopardy and you should seek medical attention immediately. I repeat, this is not a test, and your physical health is at jeopardy, and you need to seek medical attention immediately. If this is your warning, what would you do to change your physical health? If you heard these warnings, what would you do to change your physical health today? Today, you would make a plan for tomorrow. What would you do? Right? And I know it's a lot of information, so y'all gonna have to go back. I know. Go back and write down some points, right? Talking about your spiritual health. I'm sorry, talking about your physical health, and once again, talking about your mental health. So, what would you do to change the outcome, right? Going into spiritual health, and I know spiritual health is a touchy one, so I know I will try my best to be as gentle as I can. Fair enough? All right. So, what alerts do you feel are going off to warn you that it is an emergency with your spiritual health? Anyone? 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 And so, thinking about it, this is a test, and it's only a test of the emergency broadcast system. And I ask yourself, how do you feel about prioritizing God? So, whoever God is to you, how do you feel about prioritizing God? How do you desire God? Do you worship God? Do you enjoy God? That's a good one right there. Do you enjoy God? Do you pursue God? Not only do you just ask God, but do you pursue God? And do you trust God? Do you have a connection with other people? Right? Do you ask about the meaning and purpose of life? Are you trying to find out your meaning and purpose about life? And or do you feel abandoned by God? All of these questions are part of your test when you're talking about spiritual walk. Spiritually, Gabby, thank you so much for joining. Right? Spiritually, Mr. Bondin, thank you so much for joining on the Facebook side. If this is the test, right? Okay, all right. If this was your test for your spiritual health, are you taking your frustration out on others? Are you feeling helpless? Are you feeling trapped? Once again, are you feeling trapped? Are you feeling like there's no way out? And if so, what are you doing to find a way of escape? And is that way of escape one that requires or that you are considering unaliving? And if so, you really sincerely, I pray that you seek help, because there's so many other ways. There's so many other options. Okay. Feeling trapped, detached, you feel alone, you have a loss of motivation, withdrawing from responsibilities, right? Somebody else, that sounds like what? Depression. Sounds like depression, but it's because it's attached to your spiritual health. It's attached to your spiritual health, right? So if you're struggling with these questions, if you're struggling to answer these questions, once again, this is the emergency broadcast system, and this is not a test. This is a warning that your spiritual health is at jeopardy, and you should seek spiritual assistance at this time. Once again, this is not a test, and your spiritual health is at risk, and you should seek spiritual assistance at this time. Right? If you do this by connecting to a faith-based community, right? Volunteering, maybe helping others, listening to music. So for those of you who are music buffs, listening to your music, maybe yoga, starting to do some journaling, meditating. What's another one? Spending time outside, putting your feet on the grass, really grounding yourself with nature, finding new or going back to the things that you once had hobbies with. Speaking with someone that you trust, someone that you love, someone that you can really be yourself with, right? And Mr. Bondin said that he uses singing bowls, right, in order to get back in touch with his spiritual side. Whatever you need to do in order to grow and develop your spiritual side, right, to reconnect spiritually, take on that time to do it, right? If you notice that the emergency broadcast system, right, what they did is that they wouldn't give you all of the details. They would just give you just enough information to say, hey, there's an emergency. Get to safety or get to shelter immediately, right? So then they're telling you to seek shelters, seek assistance immediately. And that was it. They're not telling you what direction to go. They're not telling you who you should do it with, how soon. All they said was immediately. They didn't say you have to do it by 4 p.m. They didn't say you had to do it on this day or by next week or on Tuesday. They just said immediately. So when you are at risk, when it's no longer at risk, and it is now a warning. It is no longer a test, I'm sorry. And it is now a warning. Seek assistance. My resilience tip for you today. Seek assistance if needed and when needed. Immediately. Don't wait. Well, it's not that bad. Even if you talk to a therapist online, or if you talk to your friends regularly. You know, I call and talk to my friends on a daily basis. Some of them, I know they get tired of me. And the ones that are married, I try not to bother them as much. The ones that have kids, I try not to bother them as much. But my friends that are close by, or my single friends, my karaoke friends, I talk to them pretty regularly. And it's just so I can vent, or I can say I'm struggling in this area and I just really need some reassurance on what I'm doing or what direction I should go. And then I make a decision on what works best for me, right? People that I trust, so I can make a decision. And in my spiritual time, I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of seeking. I do a lot of reading of the word. And then I seek for myself. Find what works for you. And take that time to really get the information that you need so you can make a conscious decision on what you need to become a more and a better resilient you. All right. So I know. Thank you so much for joining in. That is my time. I know it went quick, but I stayed within my 30 minutes, y'all. So those of you that hung on to the end, y'all are my superstars. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so very much. I hope and pray that I said something tonight, and I said something in tonight's show. There we go. That has helped you to catapult you into your resilience, into your future generations. For your future generations and those that are to come, it's not only for you but for your friends and family. So once again, if I said something and you thought, man, somebody else need to hear this, share this. If not, put their names down there in the comments, like, go back and watch this. It was good. Send it to them in their inboxes. If you don't want me to see, that's fine too. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out when the next topic comes on. So with that being said, team, we're coming right back on the 23rd of October. Same time, same place. But we are going to do part 2 of the emergency broadcast system, and we're going to go a little bit deeper. This time I talked about you as a person. Now we're going to talk about the things associated with you. All right. So on the 23rd of October, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, same time, same locations on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I love y'all. I pray love, peace, joy, and happiness, safety, and peace until I see you again. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for your encouraging words. I truly appreciate y'all. All right. See y'all soon. Bye. See you soon. Bye.